Want to turn your house into a living, breathing canvas, haunted, festive, or anything you can imagine with just a phone, projector, and some help from AI? I'm teaming up with the creator of Illumibot to show you how. Hey, it's Zach with Toiling Troubles DIY, and in this video, I'm teaming up with the brains behind Illumibot, the revolutionary AI-powered projection mapping device that brings your imagination to life. With Illumibot's point, prompt, play simplicity, you just point your camera at a surface, describe what you want to see, and watch as the AI maps and animates your words into stunning visuals. No technical skills required. And here's the best part. Illumibot has officially partnered with AtmosFX, so now you can weave your favorite AtmosFX decoration seamlessly into your displays. In this episode, the creator of Illumibot is giving us a deep dive into the full experience, with an unboxing, setup, and complete demo for the first ever guest creator collab on this channel. Ready to see illusion become reality? Let's check it out. Okay, so Ross, what is Illumibot?
So Illumibot is a personalized projection system. Think about Disney's castle, but for houses, for anybody. And the second part of that is Disney's castle and all that cool stuff made easy. So easy that usually just you say words and it makes stuff. Now, I mean, you can do a lot more with it, but I wanted to build something super easy that anybody on this block, if they really wanted projection mapping, could do it, and they only use their phone. I wanted to make sure there's no computer software, no downloads, any of that, just you and your phone and a lot of AI.
Yeah, so projection mapping made very easy.
That's it, projection mapping made for the everyday person who wants to have cool stuff on their house.
Amazing. So I understand that you recently partnered up with AtmosFX to integrate into Illumibot directly. So walk me through that. What does that look like?
Yeah, so initially we're straight AI. You say words and AI makes it. It can do still imagery really, really great. It can do animations really good now. And those models are just advancing like lightning speed. So we had that going on, but we partnered with Atmos because they have pre-made, vetted, really, really quality content. And as good as AI is, it also produces some wonky, you have to coddle it and work it. And so sometimes it's just more affordable and easy, and again, that's the whole point, was easy, to kind of blend the two. So like we could say words, make a cool backdrop, and then I want to pinpoint certain things at certain places and drop AtmosFX in there, and it's just a great balance between the two.
Amazing. All right, well, let's jump into a demo.
All right, so I think the key is what a lot of people like, how hard is it to set up? So we are going to set this up. What I get asked a ton before anything, and it's kind of the beginning question, is what projector should I use? Right? And that's such a loaded question. And I'm getting it all the time, like, hey, what projector should I use? Like, there's a lot of other things I need to know. So the things I need to know are how big of a surface you want to hit, a house like this, or a big old freaking mansion, or a tiny little object or something like that. How much ambient light, like we have a street light across the street here, and some light here. So it's pretty dark, but it's not pitch black. That's a factor. How wide is it? How far back can I get? That's another factor, because that determines the kind of projector. There's three kinds of projectors: a standard throw, a short throw, and an ultra short throw, like really tight. Each has their benefits and advantage, but so in this case, a standard throw projector would not work. We're too close to the street. But sweet spot, ultra short throw. So there's just a lot of factors, and we can go into some more of those later, to pick the projector, and budget.
Of course, got like big consideration for most people.
Yep. Yeah, it's like, look, I want to do it, but I don't have $1 billion, so what can I do? And there's some solutions for that, some really good ones. Anyway, I get that question a lot. So in this case, we went for the gold. We're going to throw a BenQ on top of here, and what we're going to do is a quick setup.
Amazing. Let's jump into it.
All right. So what we do here is, let's say we figured out the projector and you've got one. A question I get is, well, does any projector work? And just about. It's pretty much needs an HDMI cable, which almost all projectors have. So I can spit it out of these little tiny ones or whatever. It's just how much quality and what the purpose is, right? So second thing you need is the Illumibot kit. That's what this guy is. So you have a Wi-Fi antenna, kind of a long-range antenna, so that we can pick up your Wi-Fi from your house and bring it out here In our case, I brought my own Wi-Fi, a little Starlink satellite, so I just know it works. Yeah. HDMI cable to hook it between your projector and this bot. So this is nothing fancy. This is the Illumibot. This is kind of the brains. It's your media player. So I get a lot of questions like, what does it do? Does it hold media? So this will store all of your content. When you build a show and you get it all ready, it can do two main things for you. It can store it all and play it all. It also has some brains in it that it's every frame that goes out, it's reshaping the movie or the content to the shape of your house that we're gonna do in a minute. So it's reprocessing everything. And that's why you just don't take what you have in Illumibot and spit it out anywhere. It needs to run through this device to reshape so it makes sense.
Gotcha.
And then the other thing it can do is, depending on your projector, it can remote control your projector.
Oh, amazing.
Which is a big deal. So you're not like, oh shoot, we're out of town.
Yep.
Oh, no one's gonna go hit the remote control and turn on. That's a pain in the butt, right?
Absolutely.
So this will turn it on, run your show, turn it off. And it's even designed that even if you're offline, like if you build everything, you get it perfect, it's going, take off the internet, it's just gonna say, oh, it's 8 o'clock, turn it on, run your show, it's midnight, turn it off.
Projection made easy.
Projection made easy. And one more technical thing on that, since we're just going technical, even though, no, let me save it because I want something cool back there, so let's do that.
That sounds good.
Okay, so that's what we need. So here I went ahead and got the bot there. I've got the antenna right here, the power supply. I'm using a little battery powered supply because I'm just doing everything battery powered here instead of anything. You would scan the QR code and download the app. So you need an app to run it, which I have done. So that's it. All right, so here we go. Let us just power this thing on. Okay, so to set this up, we're gonna take the Illumibot, we're gonna plug in this antenna right into the side port, little USB port, only thing it can fit into. We'll take the HDMI cable right here, and that goes right into the HDMI cable of the projector. We're gonna go ahead and turn our projector on. And then the last thing we'll do is we'll just plug the power cord into the top and turn it on.
Amazing.
Okay, so this is booting up, but I do want to make sure my projector is on. So, okay, here's a little factor with short throw projectors. Short throw projectors are perfect for when you don't have a lot of space. It's probably the most common deployment is because most people have a shorter yard. So I prefer the long throws, but short throw is also good. What they do though is they have an offset. That's what it's called, an offset, and they want to shoot up because typically they're on a wall and it's like a big screen TV. This is just a really big screen TV. And so to catch it, we kind of have to put a little bit of a slant on this bad boy. See?
Yep.
And what I like about the BenQ, so this is like a Cadillac compared to some lower cost ones, right? Because I'm just moving it and this thing is auto-focusing, it's setting up the barriers, showing me how far. So one thing I did a little math, and I measured the outer part of this building. It's like 42 feet. And so with short throws, there's a thing called a throw ratio. And that's for every foot of length, you need to go back some multiple, right? So in a standard throw, let's say it's 1-to-1. So for every foot this way, you gotta go 1 foot this way. So I would have to be 42 feet back that way, and I just don't have that space.
Right.
With a short throw, it's 0.5. It's half. So for every foot, I come out 6 inches. So I put this thing, pegged it at 21 feet, and I was wrong. I mean, I'm pretty close, but I'm like missing a foot, and maybe I have some zoom in here, but I'm gonna say, screw that. I'm just going to
Back it up.
back it up. I got all this space, so we're just gonna move it back about a foot and call it good. I could probably go back more if I wanted to hit that white pillar, but I'm just not.
Okay.
Another big factor here to think about is enclosures. So I did not bring an enclosure here. It's a nice clear night. But if you're gonna keep this out in the yard for a while, you don't want it to be rained on.
Sure.
And you want it secure so someone doesn't just pick up and run off with it.
Yeah, that's one of people's very big questions about having a projector outside for an extended period of time.
So I say do it. I have had 4 projectors in my yard for 3 years now in an enclosure. My enclosures are just kind of a Pelican case, kind of homegrown one. We make them and sell them. They are glorified toolboxes. You can DIY it. A lot of people are like, heck no, I ain't got time for that, and so they just want to buy one. So whatever flavor you want, the ingredients to an enclosure are something to keep the weather off, so waterproof, some kind of window, whether it's glass or plexiglass. You just need something, glass preferable for clarity, but we use a lot of plexiglass that also works. Something the light to go through, and then a big old hunk, not big, but a strong barbecue fan, just some kind of fan to pull the heat out, because these things will crank heat like crazy. And power, that's it.
So 2 questions about the hardware that I had.
Yeah?
Does the Illumibot constantly need to be connected to Wi-Fi in order to operate?
Great question, I get that a lot. So the Wi-Fi's purpose is to deliver the message. So when you're building a show, when you're trying stuff out, you need to be connected because it's got to download it to it. When you're scheduling a show, you're building this show schedule, it's got to be connected so it can receive the schedule. But when you're done with all that and you've scheduled it, you don't need Wi-Fi anymore. Only when you're creating. And that's kind of a big deal on this whole thing, is when you're creating content, that's when you need all the connectivity. Once you've built it and it's great, then
you're done, and it can be stored locally on the Illumibot.
Yep, and it's also in the cloud, so it's there in case you lose it, it dies, get hit by light, whatever.
Yeah.
You restore it, you can just push it all back down.
That's amazing.
So we have it in 2 places for you. So we got our projector on, and we just want to make sure it's covering the surface. Great, we're now connected to the projector with the Illumibot. So the next step here is, if you come up this way, we need to get it online. And I'm going to use this handy dandy little pencil in the kit. Yeah, so let's hit this guy. Enter password. Now we won't show my password. So now here's the next thing we do. So we go to the app. Load up the Illumibot app. Okay. So it opens up like that, opens up to your community. You would sign in and create your account, which you can create a free account. And we're going to make it soon where even anybody can just try, like a very limited version where you can try your own house just to see if it's going to be cool enough to then dive deeper into it. So we have a thing called point prompt play. That's the whole premise of what we do. So the first thing we do is point a projector at something. We did that. I'm going to do connect app, brings up a QR code, and I'm going to do find nearby Illumibots. I'm going to hit scan QR code, and then I am just going to scan it, and then it connects it. It says, okay, I know who this is, and I will say onboard. So I just make sure the IDs match. They do. It's green. It says it's online, and the way I like to test it is I just bring up this paint palette, and I will send red. And then that goes red, and if I want to send green, so I'm just sending colors to get the idea that, okay, yes, I'm definitely online. And then what I like to do now is send white. And now white, the reason I send white is part of the setup process. If I'm doing this at night, I need a good bright target. Also, the white shows me the boundaries of my projector. Like you can see right here, I'm not there yet. I'm a little bit off. I think I could probably fix it if I were not lazy and I knew my projector better, which I need to. I would do some corner pinning and stretching, but I'm gonna cheat a little bit because we haven't set this in stone, and I'm just gonna move my mount. Move my power back. And get it like right there. So now we got whole house. Now, notice, again, this is a short throw projector. So I'm getting the walls. What I really would have loved to have gotten is the upper trim. So I'm losing it here on this corner, and I'm losing a little bit over there because, dang, it's just not, it's a long house. And you could overcome that if you had 2 projectors, and then you could really light that side and light this side and get it all.
Right.
But, so those are just things that you can do. And Illumibot completely works with, I've had up to 18 projectors all synchronized together. So it's just as many as you want to stack on there. All right, here we go. We're connected, the bot's online, we have the app, we've sent white. So now it's time to do a setup. So I'm gonna just open up this bot. I'm going to create a new location. The locations are allowed so that I may want to do this and have some fun, but I want to take it somewhere else and have some more fun, but I don't want to lose all the work I did here. So you can create as many locations as you want to do all your settings, and it saves everything, and you can just move your stuff around, right? Give it a name, upload photo. And so in this little instruction, we just illustrate to you that when you take the picture, we want the camera to be as close to the lens of the projector as possible so that the perspective, like, you know, the perspective matches. That's going to help a lot. So I'm going to hit continue and camera mode. I'm going to rotate the camera this direction. You want to rotate it this way. And then I'm going to go, the lens is right here. So I'm going to get, you don't have to be like on the lens, but you want to be where this lens is parallel with that lens. It just helps. And then I'm going to zoom out my camera a little bit. And then just kind of get it steady and level and pop. Okay. There you go. I'm going to retake it. I'm a little crooked. I don't think that matters. AI will just say crooked, whatever. I'll use it. But I'm going to level it up just a little bit. And let's see. Ooh, I like that one better. So I'm getting the extreme ends. You don't want like a tiny house here. You want to fill that space with as much of the usable space as you can. You'll get more pixels that way. So you want to do that. So I've done it. I'm going to use this photo. And now it's uploading it. And now it asks me, do you want to create a mask? I'm going to say, yeah. And this just shows you put a dot, and then AI is going to do the masking. Okay, so that's the idea here. So, and then you can technically do dots and remove stuff and really get, so if I want to carve out the windows. The other thing, notice what happened. There's grass on the house. So what it did is once I uploaded that photo, it's sending your photo back through the projector onto the house. So that just happened in the background. But first we want to get this mask. So here's my area. I'm going to put a dot right there. And then let AI go do what it do. And we've masked the house.
That was easy.
Right? And it cut out the bushes, so it's going to skip those. And you can go into draw mode and you can paint around, because sometimes it doesn't get it. You can remove, you can do a lot of different things there, but in this case, nailed it first try. So you're going to hit save, and then you just do this slider. So that's the original house, that's the mask. And sometimes I have rogue stuff I don't like, so I'll cancel, I'll go clean it up. But again, first try, nailed it, so I love it. So we're going to hit save mask. And there we go. So now we got our photo, we've got our mask, and now for this is the hardest part. It's not hard for me. For some it is. My mission is to get rid of this step completely with AI, but until then, this is what you do. So check it out. Begin corner pinning. We just give you a few hints, like you're going to rotate, you're going to turn your phone, we're going to do some joysticks. I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm going to hit continue. All right, so here we go. And you'll want to kind of get the house behind what I'm doing here. So it loaded up, and I want to rotate it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bump up to full-blown rabbit mode. And this is my methodology. You can do one at a time if you want. I'm just really fast because I do it this way. So I'm going to grab my thumbs here, and I'm going to take the photo, and I'm going to do the right side. And see how I'm stretching? And there. That is not on, but it's close enough. You just need to get close enough right now, because you're going to, when I move the other side, it's going to mess it up. So I'm coming over here and close enough. Okay? You hit the turtle. That saves everything and resets the pins. And I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do right side, left side, turtle. Right side, left side, turtle. Each time you hit the turtle, it gets slower. It gets more precise in your movements. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do it again. We're going to go right side. And I'm just looking for like that. If you see there's a security sign, I'm trying to hit that. And then I'm trying to get, what am I trying to get over here? Just kind of that corner of the house. So I got those.
So it's major adjustments off the bat, and then you get into more and more micro adjustments.
Yeah, that's it. Go. Major to micro, major to micro. So, okay, I'm getting that right there. And by just spreading up, here's the magic sauce. By spreading these up and down, I'm moving the middle. Because you're like, oh, it's not working. And it's just because the sides are not straight. So if I'm spreading these up and down a little bit. And close enough, right? It's still not on. Turtle. Okay, we're on our next run. So here we go. We're going to do this again. I'm going to get the sign. I'm going to get this little corner over here. Going to go to the other side and kind of get that lined up. and close, turtle. All right, we're halfway there. And you can look, I mean, I'm almost there already, but there's some magic when you like nail it and the bricks align and everything else, it's pretty sweet. So I'm just doing it again. Right side, 2 thumbs over here. Really, I'm focusing on that window because I can see the distinctness there. And I think I need to move this in just a hair. Yeah. Okay, turtle. All right, we're gonna go right side again. Now I can make big movements with my thumbs and it just does really micro movements on the wall. Here's another technique I do. Check this out. You don't have to be close to this. I get right up on the bricks and say, all right, let me like really get up here and get like, so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, and then we'll walk over here. And I'm trying to get that like window right there in that top corner is good. And here's another trick. I'm looking at the negative of this ghost. You look at the shadow and you can see when the shadow kind of fits back in. That's it. I'm gonna hit this save right here. And before I hit exit, this button's changing in the next couple days, but there's a reset corner pin button. So if you just like, this is so screwed up and you don't know how to get out of it, just go reset and start over. So you can do that. But I'm gonna hit save and exit. And that's it. Technicals are done.
Awesome.
Time for fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we call it point, prompt, play, right? So now that we've done point, now we're gonna do prompt. So if you have just one projector, then you're just gonna have one, and when I go to point, it's there. If you have many projectors, you're able to select which ones you want active. I got a ton, so I'm like, okay, let me activate these and do this, and then I'll go activate those. But prompt, we'll do a plus for a new prompt, and we're ready to go. So for giggles, we're just gonna hit surprise me, create 3. And so the server's working on them. If it's yellow dots, that means the server heard what you want, and it's in queue. When they turn green, it's starting to chew on it. And then when you get thumbnails, well, there you got them. One caveat right now, if like nobody's on and the servers are ice cold, because we shut them down to try to save money. But then when it starts going, they start spawning. 1 server, 2 servers, like as many it takes to keep things rolling. So if they're cold, it might take up to 6 minutes if you're the only one on. But after that, they're 20 seconds and it's jumping out 3 images, 3 images. So we're balancing that and constantly trying to speed it up. Okay, so it's there, it's made them. So let's just see what this weird thing is.
Okay.
All right, so it made that. One thing about short throws that's important, and it's where you stage it. Notice how we're standing up, so we're seeing the higher bush line because it's so tight. That's because from down here, that's as close as it can get. That's what it can see, right? All right, so here's another surprise me, just a random prompt on here, right?
So if I wanted to alleviate that issue, I would need to raise the projector up to eye level or above.
Or cut your bushes lower.
Or cut the bushes, yeah.
I did that on one of mine, like, well, anyway, I won't even say it. She was out of town, like, we had talked about it.
Sometimes that's what you have to do.
We talked about it, and I have video footage of it, and I'm like, all right, it's time, and I whacked those suckers. And then she came out like, what'd you do to that? We're gonna do that in a year. And I'm like, well, my bad. They're growing back, by the way, but nice and small.
They do that.
They do that. Okay, so like that quickly, now this is just a random prompt. So now, you know, a big problem people have is like, what do I do? Like, what do I make, right? So you can come up with stuff where you can ask for suggestions, but one thing that I like here is this community page.
Oh, cool.
So I like this one, the more in the Halloween spirit, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Brian's got a killer looking look right here. You can see Tim Burton, whimsical and dark, creating a surreal characters in a twisted Victorian cityscape, foggy night, etc.
Perfect.
So I say, bro, that's a good one. I'm gonna try it. But now instead of being on his house, we'll put it on this one. So we're just gonna go create 3. Yellow means the server got it. Server's chewing on it. And I can tell the servers are hot right now because the images are coming in pretty good.
Awesome.
Now, one thing's cool here to show you is, if I go back out of community post and back to prompt, is I got some of these prompts going on. All right, I got a bunch of prompts. Oh, what I wanted to show is gallery. So another mode of looking at all your stuff. But yeah, you can go into gallery mode and just play on projector. And yeah, it does, that's what it did.
There it is, we got some swirls.
All right, we got that. I'll go back into prompt mode. Cool, so all right, I'm interested in this other one, Tim Burton style. We did a quick setup, instantly went in there, and we're now making artwork on the building. And the artwork is conforming to the shape of the structures that we did. I'm gonna create 3 more of this Tim Burton style and let those go. And once you're done with prompt, now this is a simple prompt, we can do more with it. And that's what a lot of people want to do. So one thing we can do, but I want to wait for Tim Burton because I want to see what's here. Let me show you this. So simple mode is say words, get results. Anybody can do that. Don't have to be afraid. If you're feeling adventurous, we have advanced mode. And they're both available to you. It's not like you pay extra, it's just there. We just leave simple mode on in case you don't want to bother with it. We keep you in a simple mode. But if you go advanced, you have like a ton of additional features. So, in fact, I can show you can have like negative prompts and different settings and remove background and turn on your mask, all this extra stuff. You don't have to do it. It's okay. You can be simple. You can have a whole bunch of different AI models to use. So you can switch your models up and try and play around and see what's happening. And we'll load up some ideal settings for those when you pick them. How many steps it's going to do, denoising strength, how creative you want it to get. And here's something I do like. So we'll go to a thing called a LoRa, a flavor pack. So if you do a prompt, but I want it to really have a certain flavor to it, that's what this is. So I want Tim Burton style. So there's a whole style that it's a flavor, Tim Burton flavor, right? So I'm gonna use, and I can do a little lot, I'm just gonna use this one, create 3 more, and we'll see how it influences an already Tim Burton prompt, right?
Interesting.
So
you can keep things really simple, plug and play, or you can get really into the weeds with it. It just depends on which way you want to go.
Look, we have so much weeds in there. This was so over-engineered. Like there's probably 80% we should not have done. Like, no, guy, what are you doing? We did it because we were trying to perfect the way that the images get generated. But because we built it, we just said, screw it, let's expose it so anybody, if they know Comfy UI and some of these other advanced AI tools, then go have fun. It's not required, you don't need it. Leave it in simple mode and just say stuff and have fun with it.
So this is going to appease everyone from the soccer mom who's never touched a projector all the way through software developer.
Yeah, the guy that like, bro, I want to get into like some crazy thinking stuff, yeah. So there we go. Now we got a cityscape kind of going on here, which he had kind of a Victorian building town, so we're, okay. So it's making it. And so let's say I wanted to add fog and I wanted some bats flying around there, right? So that's where it gets into, anytime you hit one of these statics, then you go, first, I find one I like, you press and hold, and you favorite it. That's important when you're going to select, because you're going to make so many images. You're like, which one did I like? Right. So when you see one you like, favorite it. Trust me, I mean, it helps a lot. Then you go to quick prompt actions, and you have some more things you can do. Like if it's not detailed enough, like, oh, that's the one I want, but I want it to be sharp and crispy and extra detail, I want to upscale it, upscale. Now, or you can animate. And that brings me to another subject. What does it cost? The app side, right? So everybody wants us to know, and everybody freaks out when they hear the words subscription. Oh my gosh, it's like Armageddon. So one, yo, this cost me like thousands of dollars just to keep it running. So I need just like a little bit of help here. So here's how it works. You need a subscription when you're creating content. The app's going to run for you. So what I recommend is like if you're Halloween only or Christmas only, turn on your subscription. It's 15 freaking bucks. That's so dirt cheap for all you can eat images. Go nuts, create like crazy, 15 bucks flat for the whole month. And if at the end of the month you're done, you've created your stuff, cancel your subscription, everything still works. You can run your shows, you can do anything you want. As long as you're not pounding my servers, costing me money, then I'm okay, go for it. But if you're burning the servers up, I need a little bit of help, right? Sure. So that's subscriptions. In addition though, when you're doing upscaling or animating, or if you're purchasing AtmosFX, which we're gonna get into, well, that also costs a whole lot more money. Now, instead of an animation is not just, really an animation, you think about it, is 120 or 150 pictures running in fast sequence, right? So they're just a lot more expensive on the server. So you pay for those in what's called tokens. And those you just buy when you want. You buy a big old token pack, and you'll see here like a moonlit city street at night. Oh, it gives you a suggested animation, or you can clear it and say what you want. Let's see what it said. Glowing windows, full moon casting an eerie glow, and the city's coming alive with mysterious activity. I don't know, let's try it. So we're just gonna say animate. That's gonna cost me 21 tokens, probably like 10 cents or 15 cents. It's not much, right? I forget what the math is. We're gonna say go for it. You get this little icon here, and so now it's cranking out an animation. I'm still selected on my favorite one, so I'm gonna go here, animate. That's using our animation engine, but you don't have to use ours because there's some other killer ones out there. Let's talk about those. So there's Min-Max, Runway, VEO3, and Aleph. And there's a ton more, but those are the ones we've hooked into for now. I like Min-Max, go. 50 tokens for that one because it's just a different expense. Those are on theirs, and so I have to integrate with them. All right, we got that one going. And just to compare, let's do it again, animate. And let's look at Runway, animate, 30 tokens. Cool. Quick prompt, animate. Now here's the one, check this one out. It's one of my favorite. When you hit VEO3, it says, don't use this. Abort, stop. And the reason why is just because it's extremely, it's like $1 a second.
Oh, wow.
It's ridiculously expensive. We're telling you don't do it. But we use it because it's a really cool thing, and I want to make like killer animations. It even loads in sound, like it builds the soundtrack to it. It just, VEO3 is like next level. I'm hoping that a lot of these, the competitors will come out so we can have cheaper, good quality. Yeah, we get the quality cost down, but it is what it is. We're just reflecting that back out. But yeah, take my money, go ahead. So it's gonna build that one up. All right, let's do quick prompt. Now, what I haven't been paying attention to is the AI change, so the scenes may be different. VEO3, mysterious eerie. I'm gonna do a flickering lights. Okay, cool. VEO3, animate, 400 tokens, take my money. It's a little harder because it's a beefier model. Okay, and another caveat I wanna say here. It's like gambling. I wish it wasn't. I wish it was like, I'm gonna get the best thing ever. You're spending money. You don't know. And AI is like, sometimes goes, blow your mind, that was amazing. And sometimes it's like,
That's not what I was asking for.
That sucks. Yeah. It's not what I asked for. You didn't do anything. I have no control over that stuff. Right. So I need to really put like, welcome to the gambling center of AI, which is why AtmosFX is such a good partnership. Because with Atmos, you know what you're getting. And it's pretty affordable, actually, relative to the way these things work. It's very cost effective. You know what you're gonna get. You can place it. You can use it anytime you want. So that's why it's such a good balance between the two. All right, and then we'll do Aleph and animate. I think that's all of them. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so like, whoa, okay. I see it kind of painted a building on the building. It's an interesting effect. Yeah. Like, and so when you're dealing with like those crazy projection mapping shows, I mean, that might be a pretty good effect. Mm-hmm. I didn't pay attention, like just put fog and give me some bats. I really should have done that. I'll do that on the next one. Here's a different model. And I see a little bit of something trying to flash around, but again, this one's, sometimes it's a win and sometimes it is not. The others are cooking. Okay, so that's one example of how to do that. I'll show you, since we're in features, let's just do another one. We're going like really deep into like all the extra settings, right? I'm gonna do a new prompt. Instead of using words though, I don't wanna use words. What I'm gonna do, since I'm in advanced mode, I'm gonna slide down here to this thing called Inspiration Images, IP adapter. So I'm gonna hit this, and I'm gonna upload an image from my phone. And so it pulls up the phone gallery. Oh, here we go. There you go. So I got a kind of a blue guy there. I'm gonna hit save. that's what it's going to prompt off of. So we hit save, and there's a bunch of other stuff you can tweak on there. Generate 3. So I didn't give it any words, I just gave it an image, and so it's going to do that. And you can mix words with images, you can put multiple images and use that as the inspiration to create the artwork. One of the questions that gets asked is, how do you make sure that when AI does its weird stuff, that it obeys the mask? And so there's a setting you can have that says, whatever you do in your animation, don't leave the boundary I gave you. So it just, technically, if we didn't have that on, I'd see stuff on the ceiling and the grass and it would do it, which in some cases looks amazing. When you're just overspraying your animations, it looks good. And in other cases, it's no bueno. Right. Okay, point, prompt, play. So we're gonna go into play now. So we have 2 methods of doing it. A slideshow was the previous method we had for a long time, which was just save your sets of things that you like and play them in a slideshow. Gotcha. Yeah, just it's gonna, every whatever second delay, it's gonna go through and kind of do that. Let me show you that really quick on here. So what you would do is if you were in prompt mode, right? And let's say we really liked our little foxes here. I would hit create show, right? And so I can either do a slideshow or a timeline. I'm just going to do slideshow, and I'm going to give it a name. I'll create a new show called random testing. Save and save. And this checkbox right here, if you do that, saves it on the community. So now anybody can take, if they like what you did, can go with it and do something else. Nice. You know, you're turning the favor. Yep. And so then I could do another one, or I could go back out and pick.
And if you're using someone else's show that they've already created or prompt they've already created, you don't have to pay for it again.
No, it's just a prompt. So really, it's all it is the words and the settings that they used. It applies all that, but then it formulates it around your mask, your house. So it's just kind of the recipe, and then you bake your own cake. Gotcha. Right? It's the inspiration. So like even here, he uploaded a cool picture, and that's what was used instead of, well, actually it's kind of a combination of Spooky Haunt with this inspiration and this Laura to give it some extra detail. And that little combo, you got all of it. You just brought it right over into yours, but shaped it around there. Cool. So it's just a way to collaborate. It's like community collaboration on prompting. And it's going to get better. We'll do a lot more of that.
Awesome.
All right, so those are still in the oven. Here, we'll go get one of these just to illustrate. Get our favorite one, create show. We're gonna add it to the slideshow. You can give it a name if you want and hit save. So that shared it to the community, and now I've got a show going on. And so if I go back to play and slideshow, we have random testing, and it has, select them all, 2 images. And so what I could do is I could schedule that show to say every 10 seconds, switch between the images, and do a little bit of fade between, and I want that to run 7 days a week. Start the show at sunrise to sunset, if it knew my location, which I didn't give it, or the next hour. You just set the time frames, and then you hit save on that, and it's gonna schedule the show, burn it into here, and then it should just run autonomously. Awesome. No edit or nothing, it's just gonna go in and then rotate between whatever you had in that slideshow. Okay? So then we have a second thing called a timeline. This is brand new. This is when we launched Atmos, we also launched Timeline. And this is more traditional shows like people are making, where it's 10 minutes long, 30 minutes long, whatever. So I'm gonna do a new show called Fun Times. All right, so there's my main track, and I'm just gonna hit plus, which will bring me out to the library. Got some things cooking there, so I can pick kind of a background city track, right? And then this gets to a question that some people had, like, what about adding layers and other content? So if you click out here, you can add overlays and audio. So what I want to do is I want to add an overlay. And instead of using some of this content, I want to go to upload, so you can upload stuff off of your phone, your own videos, your own content. I've filmed myself with my camera making funny faces and then put that in the window, and now it's playing back. Nice. And there's some new models where it will transform my video of me into a Wicked Witch or whatever else. Same acting, just transform. Or you can do purchased. So this is the whole AtmosFX library.
Yeah.
I think I will do, let's do Marley's Ghost. Okay. Go into that pack. You can buy the whole pack, or you can just buy individual components. I'm just going to buy this.
So you can buy individual scenes or the whole.
Yeah, you can buy the whole pack. You can go down however you want. If you're like, okay, I just want this, then you can just buy that. It does ask you about commercial or non-commercial licensing.
Right.
So if you are in a commercial kind of content, you're selling it, you're making tickets or whatever else. The great thing is if you're doing it with Illumibot, it's a one-time purchase for the whole library. The whole Atmos library. You just buy it one time. It lets you calculate the roughly your size, and then for a year you can use all of the Atmos content commercially. Go for it. You are now licensed, so you can buy that right from here. If you're not doing that, you just hit non-commercial and purchase, and it's just going to deduct the tokens and unlock the asset.
Awesome.
And download it, and so now I can use it. So let's let that happen. So when you buy it through us, we can translate that back to your main Atmos account as if you bought it from there as well.
Awesome.
So that way, if you had to go download it later, you can work that out. But yeah, that connection will be there.
Cool.
So I picked the asset.
With this now.
Right? It takes a minute because it wants to bring that asset in. So we'll let it go for a minute. This little button right here, by the way, is called snapping. So when you have a bunch of segments, when you're moving the playhead, it'll snap to the next one. It's really handy for getting everything aligned. Jump forward, playback, and then this one just lets you zoom into the whole show. Really handy when you're building a full timeline show.
Cool. While we're talking AtmosFX, what inspired the collaboration between Illumibot and Atmos?
When you're building this kind of thing, you just listen. And you go with where people want and where they want to go. It just made sense. Like, I had not planned on that. I thought AI could do all the things, and AI was the bomb. And AI is really cool, but as you saw there, AI does really stupid stuff too, and it's an evolution of going. And so Atmos has just the clarity and good content that you know what you're going to get and you can depend on are a big deal. And it's just like you can depend on it. So it just made perfect sense to blend the two together and harmonize those two. So and mainly it's because consumers wanted it. They're like, hey, I want to be able to, on our first show, we did the big Trans World Convention, and we got people saying, okay, can I upload my own stuff? Can I upload some of these things and mix it with that? And like, at that time, we could not. Like, okay, that's what they want. So we got busy, and in a few months, we got that put and baked together. So it just made sense.
Awesome.
There's another thing people want that we built a prototype for, but we're not selling the product yet because it just wasn't core focus, but is the ability to trigger scenes and shows. So you can send it a signal to another piece of hardware, and it'll hit that and go. While this is baking too, another thing we can talk about is remote control. So let's say I got this show all built up and it's going, and I want this, and I got my enclosure, and I want this to turn on and off. So there's 3 ways to remote control a projector. We're getting into like the geeky stuff here. There's a protocol called PJ Link, and it's basically, and don't worry, if you want to stay simple mode, don't matter. We got you covered, don't worry about it. But if you want to know the geeky stuff, I'm just telling you. PJ Link is, let's see, I don't think this one is, yep, this one, I think it does PJ Link, the BenQ does. It has an Ethernet port. So it's like you can plug the Ethernet port here straight into there, or if you're on a network, you just tell it the IP address. PJ Link's the best because you can do you can do not just the on and off, but you can do shutter and some other stuff. But that's one technology, and if you have it, boom. I love it. In my yard, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Boom, I hit this one button on my phone, and all my projectors, all 4 of them, they go to sleep. And then they turn off, power down. The second way with most projectors is going to be a thing called CEC, and it's just most good projectors will have it. These have it as well. It's called Consumer Electronics Control, I think. It's like an industry standard. And basically it communicates over the same HDMI cable that your video is going through. And it just, you have to enable it. You have to go into some settings in your projector and say CEC on if it's there. And if you turn it on, then you hit the button and it's just going to do it. In fact, oh, there we go. Cool. Oh, my guy's here. I might as well do this while we're here. Okay, so I want to place him. I'm going to go to move so I can see better. I want to place him in that window, but my image doesn't show the window. Like, dang it. So you hit original right here, and now you're back to the original image. So you can see what you're doing. So I'm going to go size, and I want to maybe squeeze him down a little bit. Okay, so I can have him walking in the front of the building, or I can put him right inside the window only. And I think for this, in all intents and purposes here, we're going to go in the window. So I'm going to put him there, and then I'm going to go to mask, and I'm just going to go dot, 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 dot. I'm going to hit move so I can just zoom in as much as I can there. And then I'm going to hit this dot to activate it. And then I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to hit this one, put it right there. Put that one right there. Let me fix this one a little bit. And there we go. Now I've got the window carved out. And so when I hit apply, it's only using that portion of the animation. And then here's the other thing. This is like, that's why it took so long. It's freaking 4.5 minute video, right? So I have two choices. If I want a short video, I can just cut it, or I can stretch out that background image really long. For this demo, to save some time, I'm just gonna go ahead and like pinch and zoom, and we'll make this a 20-second video. So we're just gonna go right here. I'm gonna hit cut, select the extra, delete, and so it just shortened it. Now I can stretch it out and do more, but I've done that. And if I want another video, and I want a different video there and other thing, you just keep adding layers and layers and layers, and you're good to go. Nice. Now, this is still not gonna fit, so I wanna get this and stretch this all the way, and oops. And it kind of snaps because I have that snap feature on. And so now I've got both of them.
So those two timelines are the same length.
The two timelines are going to play. Got the sound. And there he is. And let me just, what I don't like the placement because he's too far over. So I'm going to go back here, and I'm just going to go into edit mode. And I'm going to zoom in. See, he's kind of moved over. So that's where you hit pan. You can keep your mask, and I'm just going to slide him over here. All right, so now he's going to really pop in my window for me. Apply. Let's go back. Yeah, I need a zoom on that. And then he appears. Great, I got that. Okay, and so you can add more stuff. You can go in and you can go add over, oops.
Is there a limit to how many layers you can add?
Somebody find out how many layers limits, and then hit us up in tech support and say, there is a help button down here. You hit it and just, we'll talk to you and say, oh, thanks for finding the limit.
Gotcha. So
57 is too many. Don't do that. Yeah.
Yet.
There probably is. We haven't pushed it yet.
Gotcha.
We haven't tried yet. So somebody will try.
Someone will try.
Someone will definitely blow it up out of the water, and they'll tell us. Cool. I can add audio tracks, upload an audio track, and you can kind of put some of that stuff. We didn't turn it on here, but we'll have AI audio, so you can prompt your audio and says, some will like, no, I won't reveal the surprises, but some cool stuff with AI audio coming up as well.
Awesome.
Or purchased. All right, so great. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit save on this, save and export. And now it's compressing all of that, flattening it down to a single export. It's going to send it down to here and then reshape it to fit the structure. The third method on projector control. So we talked about PJ-Link, CEC. The third method is all of these little projectors, or the older ones or cheaper ones that don't have either PJ-Link or CEC. And there's a bunch, especially the smaller ones. It's just not on there. It's not a feature. Right. But you still want to run your show. I think some of the Atmos, the little mini ones, they don't have either of those. They're just not meant, you know, little projectors. I didn't think anybody's going to remote control those. Right. So we built a small product. It's an add-on. It plugs right into the side. It's called IR Link, like infrared, like your remote. All it does is you will take your remote control and turn it on, and you'll press the remote control and point it right at the side. It's going to memorize your remote control. Then you don't need this anymore. And now it's just using the infrared, like the remote control, to turn on and off your projector. It just kind of clones that. So
Gotcha.
between those three methods, we can get probably 95% of the projectors out there in remote control mode. One of those three, we're going to figure it out.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go, export completed. And so we'll go here, and you can play the preview up top, or you can play the actual file. Oh, dope. Got sound coming through the projector already. And then I believe it's just set to auto loop. And so you can keep stacking and adding. We can have a more of an animated background where the fog's rolling. I actually really want to do that. In fact, so let's go back into edit timeline. Actually, I want to swap. I don't want that one anymore. I don't like it. So I want to do one of these others. Okay. And I probably should go see what the others are. So let me just save only. So it's not going to export. Go back out here and let's just go see what these others look like. Little Day of the Dead going on. I think I like this first one better. All right, and then maybe we go to this other Spooky Haunted. Let's see, our blue guy did terrible. It was just too zoomed in and it didn't pan out. This is one of the beauties of why I like it's $15 all you can eat. You're gonna just don't care about the garbage and anything else. You're just gonna run. Any other styles you want to see it as?
Swamp.
Ooh.
Since we're in the swamp.
Check this out. Okay, all right, check this out. All right, we're gonna have some fun with that. So let me go to prompt. We're gonna do new prompt. And Louisiana swamp scene. You know what? That's good enough. We'll hit enhance. Let AI help us out. Louisiana swamp, mysterious and tranquil, featuring moss draped cypress trees, right? Perfect. I wasn't going to come up with all that. So watch, we're going to do 3 of those. And then we're going to go pop these little flavor packs because I've got a, there you go, swamp monster.
Perfect.
Right? It's kind of that vibe, but let's go for it. Okay, cooking. Let's go out, check the gallery. Let's go here. See if these have come through yet. So now we got a little swamp going on.
Cool.
All right, let's throw some stuff in this swamp. Let me just find the right one. So this one, add that Laura too much moss and it just kind of blew it out. So I don't like it. I think I like that one right here. And then we can take those and then go add some Atmos and just kind of drop that in where we want it.
Yeah, and there is a file that would fit.
Let's go look at it. So we're gonna go play, timeline. Let's just edit the same timeline we have. Edit timeline. And so we'll just play this scene for 20, let me go to full scene. We'll go that for 20 seconds. Let's just clip it to 10. So I'm gonna click here, I'm gonna split it, click, delete, gone. And then I'm gonna add our favorite swamp here. And what I'd prefer is to grab one of these animations, but I can hit swap later. So I'm just gonna put the placeholder in. Notice I'm building my show from my phone, just sitting out here doing it. I've spent many nights just little lawn chair in the front. Sure. Yeah. It's 2 in the morning. Like the neighbor's like, what the heck? And I'm just making shows, and because it's fun.
It is.
I think it's just fun. All right, so now we want to add an overlay, and we want to go over to purchased AtmosFX, and we want to look up swamp. So what's it called?
It's Ghostly Apparitions.
Ghostly, okay. Look at you, chest in your knowledge. Ghostly. Apparitions 4, bingo. All right, and the bog, yeah, okay. Hit bog, Rob Zombie here. 633 tokens. Boom. Non-commercial. Purchase. Yay, confetti. And so they went from locked to now they're coming to the thumbnails are coming down.
Cool.
And we'll see if we can pick a shorter one just for interest of time.
Yeah.
But
there should be.
They're about a minute. Yeah.
Towards the bottom, there should be like pop-up scare or startle scares, if I'm not mistaken.
Wall ones. Startle scares. Yeah. 27 seconds. Oh yeah, those are great. Come on, catch up. Let's try. There they go.
So you can see the video previews of them before you plug them in. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. We are working on a true background remover. That's not alpha channel kind of thing. It's truly an AI transformation that's going to say remove the background, but don't pull any of the blacks out. Because a lot of these are very black background. Yeah. So that's still under construction now, but then you'll be able to do anything that has a black background and say, you know what, nuke that thing, but keep the original. All right, so we're popping that guy. So what do we want to do with this guy? We'll just put him over to the side.
That works. I mean, he'll be popping up out of the ground, basically.
Yeah, so we'll just put him right here in the bushes. So another thing you can do, in fact, we're going to try it, is, so I'm not going to mask it. I think it's just good. No, and actually I am going to mask it. Let me go to move so I can zoom in. And just go, let's cut out at least a portion that we're gonna just kind of focus on. Cool. I'm gonna apply that mask. So it's cropped along and it's not gonna get up on the roof and stuff. Roofs, surprisingly, are good. Like a black roof, sometimes when you let it bleed on there, it's like, whoa, that actually works. And it's a dark surface. It blew my mind. I didn't think it would. You know, another just completely unrelated thing is, do you have to be square? And in this case, we do, because we're trying to hit both. But when you're having the long throw projector, standard throw projectors, dude, I'm hitting those things at crazy angles. Like, because I got a tree or something else, I might have a projector in the corner of the yard, stretched across. And because the focal plane's so far out of whack anyway, it just works. Yeah. I didn't think it would. I thought you had to be square. You do not. And a lot of people ask that. Do you have to be square on the house? You do not. All right, so cool. We've got our little, does the guy pop out in time? So he pops out too late, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna just trim forward and then press and squeeze him back. Then come to the end and cut off all the rest. I'm only cutting it off because I want a shorter video that won't take forever to export. All right, cool. Save, export. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. Synchronizing, so that's my house. That's literally the side of my house right there. On my house, I've got 2 in the front and 2 on the side. So I've got this whole wraparound. And I create whole shows, and you can lay them all out. And so they'll all follow the timeline, and when they transition, they can all move together. That's different than what people want when I have a really long house and I need to put 2 projectors. So in the really good projection mapping, you're gonna have a single super long image, and you're gonna slice it in half and then blend it together so the spiders can crawl, and it's one image. We don't do that. It's the right way to do it. We currently don't. It is on our roadmap so that we can do big giant things, chop them into projectors, do the blending so that it kind of feathers the ends. We'll do all that work for you and just make it, again, stupid easy. You put the 2 and synchronize it. It wasn't part of our MVP, so we haven't built it. But it is definitely on our roadmap. So what we can do is at least have very similarly created things, and you can time them to kind of interact. All the bots will synchronize and talk, but that's where we're at today. Gotcha. So that answers that question. Oh, cool, export's done. One other thing before well, let's just play it first. So there's our guy in the window. And then our pop-up scare. And then repeat. Nice. Again, probably wouldn't mix these 2 together, but you get the idea. All right, So what do you think? You've seen it now,
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm excited to start using it.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. Is there anything new that's going to be added before Halloween that you're excited about?
So a lot of just stability. There's so many good AI models that are just really, I look at them and I go, oh man, I got to get that in there so bad, because they're just, as long as with some of the open source ones, so I can bring the prices down and the resources aren't as much. I think audio, I want to do a lot more there. There's some bigger stuff I don't want to say yet because I've got to make sure I can do it and get it done, but just some really cool things that people want to just make it really special. Some ways so some people love playing and making shows. Other people like, look, it's great. I want super easy, like make my show for me. And so there's a community we're building where people can make other people's shows and you can say, do it for me.
Awesome.
So that kind of community is coming up. A show creator AI that lets you just think through the whole 10-minute segment or whatever you want, and then creates all the prompts, all the things you want, and helps you build the entire show out. So there's a lot of other things to help people just get closer to the easy button.
Yeah.
Still have creative control in picking what you want to have happen, but really getting something to be your inspiration partner.
Yeah.
So those are things we're coming up with soon.
That's amazing. Well, is there anything else that you would like the AtmosFX community to know about Illumibot?
When you are an Atmos user and you jump onto here, when you start your subscription, we'll do a check and we can do a one-time pull and bring all your previous purchases and bring them in. So all your stuff gets unlocked.
Awesome.
That's great. And then if you continue to make purchases, we'll continue to sync through the back end, but they would have to be done on this side. That's been our biggest request from the Atmos community. Is like, hey, yo, where's my stuff? Mm-hmm. You technically could upload it to your phone and do that. So you can do that today, but that's a pain in the butt. Nobody wants to do that. So that integration's coming. Whenever there's a sale on Atmos, 50% off or whatever else, it reflects here. We coordinate that. So awesome. Any sales that apply there will auto apply here. It's just, we mirror the two so that you're not ever having to wonder which one's cheaper. They should always be in sync.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
And when they have new stuff, we release it here and off we go.
Awesome. Well, good deal. Well, thank you, man. This is awesome.
That's great.
I appreciate it.
And so for your efforts, this kit is for you.
Yeah, thank you.
So now
I'm excited.
You got your projector. Like once you're set up, I sometimes will sit on the couch and I'll make stuff, and then I'll walk outside just for 5 minutes. And then 2 hours later, I'm like, all right, I gotta go to sleep, and then I'll come back in. Yeah. So it's fun. Yeah, mainly that's why we did it. I have fun doing it, even if it's goofy looking stuff we did here. It's just really enjoyable. And what's most enjoyable is when you see little kids' faces or other people go, oh, and you made that. You made that happen. And
that's what makes it worthwhile, for sure.
I wanted people to have that experience. And this is the first time I think that it's simple enough and will be simpler to be able to pull it off. Yeah. And that's the goal of Illumibot.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ross. I appreciate your time coming down to New Orleans.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Knock this out.
Love it.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
Huge thanks to Ross for joining me, giving us a full look at Illumibot, and for giving me my very own Illumibot. I cannot wait to start messing around with it. I've got to say, the point prompt play simplicity of Illumibot is a total game changer for anyone wanting to get into projection mapping, and the new partnership with AtmosFX really takes it to the next level. If you want to learn more about Illumibot and AtmosFX, please check out the links down in the description below. If you enjoyed this demo and would like to see more projection mapping content, give this video a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what you'd create with Illumibot. I'm Zach with Toiling Troubles DIY.
I'm Ross with Illumibot.
And until next time, go make your own magic.